Welcome to this week's Top 5 for Last Hire. It's the week of February, 18th?
That's right.
2015.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here with Thor Johnson. We're in Dallas. We are at Pariah, where he has a show up. It opened, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Ish. It's closing this weekend. There's a closing party.
On the 20th.
On the 20th. And this space has been around for about a year in one iteration or another, a little bit longer than that. It's run by Joshua Von Amen and Frank Darko. So tell me about the show.
Well, it's a show of drawings and digital prints and sculptures that I made. And it's all about, hate and violence, mutations, disease, a little bit of sex.
Yeah. I'd say the thing about Thor's work, and I've said this before, I've written this before, and I'll say it again, it's not very categorizable. I've never seen anything quite like it before. He's got sculpture, he's got video, you got some video that's going to be going in the back.
Video and music, yeah, on the closing night, just like the opening night. It's all a little bit funny and...
Dark and funny and violent. It's terribly violent and very, very bloody. Tell us what you're doing in San Antonio this weekend.
Actually, this weekend, I'm collaborating with John Hernandez, and we are doing a thing which is video and music at the San Antonio Museum of Art. It's part of the Luminaria Festival, and it got rained out. It was supposed to be back in October, so this is like the redo of it, which is, the weather's probably going to be a lot nicer this time, which is fine with me.
So number 4 this week is a show at the Blanton that's opening this weekend. It's called Come As You Are. We are now reminiscing about the 90s. It's time. It's after Urban Theater at the Fort Worth Modern. It's time to hit the 90s. This show is going to be 45 artists who really kind of made their stake in the art world in the 1990s. A lot of them are still very busy and working today, like Kara Walker and Catherine Opie, and they're going to be showing the entire Kermaster cycle.
Oh, gosh.
Which will be a slog, an interesting slog, but an interesting slog. Of course, we're thinking about what was happening in the 90s with the digital revolution, or the beginnings of the digital revolution, a lot of political upheaval, the Berlin Wall, the First Gulf War, the Rodney King riots. There's a lot about identity and new technologies and this sort of thing. It should be a big show.
Sounds great. I can barely remember the 90s, so I should probably go see it, and maybe it'll jog some. Joshua,
do you remember the 90s?
As a 5 through 15-year-old.
There you go.
Number 3 is called Not Photography at the Aaron Cleary Gallery. Mm-hmm. And it is a group exhibition of works. It's challenging the whole paradigm of photography in our digital age, subverting it, interrogating it. It's got works by Shivas Klim, Adrian Fernandez, Hilary Holstenbeck, Emily Peacock, Kevin Todora, and Jason Wilford.
Yeah, so
Sounds great.
A few Dallas people in there, a few people from elsewhere. This is going to be kind of the openings for the weekend, and you should check it out. 2 this week is at the Manila in Houston. It is William N. Copley, The World According to Copley. This is curated by Toby Camps. This is right up his alley, the sort of old weird America. This is a self-taught American artist who had 4, 5, 6 decades of very prolific art making. He did a lot of work while he was living over in Paris, but he's very American. A lot of psychosexual stuff, a lot of narrative stuff. He touches on surrealism and vaudeville. He was doing a lot of figurative work when others were doing abstraction. A lot of these are holdings of the Manila collection, but they're going to borrow work because this is the biggest retrospective of this particular artist's work at any museum or any American museum, and it's in conjunction with the Prada Foundation over in Milan, and it will travel there after it is at the Manila, and it opens this weekend. So this should be an exciting, strange, very interesting show.
That sounds great.
Yeah. And then number 1 this week is Terry Allen. Of course, Terry Allen, this great son of Texas. He doesn't live here, but in 1978, he came back to Lubbock, which is where he had grown up, and he recorded a double album called Lubbock on Everything, which is a classic cult-followed album of 20 tracks. It's considered maybe one of the best country western albums of all time, certainly a precursor to alt country, or what back then we were calling outlaw country. And he recorded it with all these country greats, and he's a conceptual artist as well, which is why he's on this list. But anyway, what's happening is at Lubbock's Texas Tech University in the Allen Theater, they're going to be doing, Terry Allen's coming, all these musicians are coming back, and they're going to be doing a kind of basically a retrospective performance and a discussion about this classic double album, and some of the original musicians who played in the sessions will be there. This is going to be a big night in Lubbock. It's a big homecoming. I'm sure it's going to be packed.
Outlaw country means like cowboys that do acid and smoke pot, right?
Back then, I think that would have been pretty much the definition of outlaw country. Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, all those, Chris Christopherson. This is for tonight. This is Thursday night.
That's right, tonight. And shout out to my buddy Rodrigo in Lubbock. You ought to go see this show.
Go see it if you can get in. If you can get in. So you're going to be in San Antonio this week.
Yeah.
Are you going to drive through Austin, or are you going to avoid the Austin
I'm going to
traffic?
avoid Austin.
You're going to drive the back roads?
I think so.
He's going to drive the back roads.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's a little waltz across Texas, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, all right. Go see some art.
Go see some art.